Welcome our next panel. If we can get a round of applause for NFTs and fashion, the future is virtual fashion. Round of applause. Woo! Thank you guys. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen. I actually volunteered to be the moderator today so that we stay in the time. I can see the time there, so if I start sweating at the end, it's because I only have like 1 second. I've been in fashion 16 years, and I actually started in Web3 working on gorillas, recording artists, which is like a crazy, intimidating project for my first one. Now I'm working on a virtual world called Modal.
Hi, I'm Winny. I've been in Web3 fashion since about 2017. I do consulting, education and strategy for Web2 brands getting into Web3.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fat Baby, and I'm an artist. I have been doing NFTs for a long time within Web3 time, which is like almost 2 years, which translated to normal time is 55 years. So yes, I have several generative projects that I have illustrated because I'm an artist. I am the founder of a few of them. I also have one art. And now I'm exploring and experimenting with virtual and physical fashion. Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Kadine James. I am the founder of The Immersive Kind, which is a digital fashion collective and metaverse studio. I've been in the 3D fashion space for a number of years, using avatars and creating digital fashion experiences, including the Electric City with Pokemon and Charlie Cohen, and the Dune movie experience where we took the wardrobe from the Dune film into a selection of avatars that you could wear on your Ready Player Me avatar. I've also dropped digital fashion collections inside Decentraland at Metaverse Fashion Week. I've set up my own virtual studio inside Spatial, where we've been bringing the crypto fashion community together. I'm part of Red DAO and Maison DAO, and I'm delighted to be here today.
Awesome intros. So what we thought we would do today is try and talk about some things that you don't know. So mindful the audience probably has been in the space for a while, knows what an NFT is, has been in a few virtual worlds. And we see a lot of the kind of emerging tech and design and activities, and we wanted to kind of highlight some of that and also share some of the things that everyone's built on this stage, which it's an amazing group. So the first question is, where do you see the most traction in Web3 fashion today? So there's a lot of press, but once you cut through all of that, what's actually happening and what do you think is the most, I guess, significant from your perspective?
Hello. Well, from my perspective, which is pretty niche, especially seeing the audience and the people that attend these events, I am a transsexual. I am transgender non-binary, so my genitals, for everybody if you want to know, I was born a female biologically, but I'm non-binary. I had top surgery, which means that I had really big boobs, and now I have a sexy chest. But I don't take testosterone, so, I'm very ambiguous with my gender. And seeing the audience, and the people that are around, obviously there's not many people like me. Any transsexuals in the room? Right. So, it's again mostly white, straight, cisgender. Nothing wrong with that, my friends, but So I think for me, it's not much what, regarding to your question, because this is not an answer to your questions, but for me, from my perspective, I think the most interesting thing that Web3 comes with is that it will, at some stage, be available for everybody. And then everyone will be able to experiment with their physical selves in a virtual way. Because I was listening to these ladies that spoke before us, and they were talking about how excited they were about wearables, literally clothing. But what if you could change gender? Or what if you could be a non-human? So I'm excited to see not just fashion, but what if fashion integrated also your human body or your non-human body? So I'm really interested in seeing what happens with that. But I think at the moment we are still very focused on fashion as in what can you wear in the in the real world and what can you wear in the digital world.
Yeah, I just want to go off that and say that I think digital identity as a whole is going to expand so much more beyond just fashion. So how we express ourselves, like for me, my Clone X I got it because it is exactly like me. And it's my way of being able to identify with myself, not just in real life, but in the metaverse. So like, even though I'm a robot, I kind of see myself as that sometimes, we are all...
Sexy.
Thank you very much. But yeah, to go like, fashion, like especially virtual fashion, and then you'll be able to have the pairings with it in real life. So being able to express yourself not just with how you physically dress, but then like I could wear this outfit in the metaverse, but also I could be a T-Rex, but also still be myself. And I think that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I echo everything that both of you have just said so eloquently, and I'm really interested in ways that my avatar can expand and become other and wear fashion in ways that not so long ago would have been completely unimaginable. I'm also really interested in the gaming activations that are taking place, the work of Artifact, obviously, which is incredible. Also, have been working on some really interesting work with Gary James McQueen and the team at Jevels, where we produced an augmented reality crown. So really interested in ways that we can use technology to create fashion experiences and unlock these opportunities to experience and wear fashion in this way. I'm also really interested in virtual production and using tools like volumetric capture and 360 scanning and 3D printing and thinking about the future of AI and text to video in particular, and ways that that's going to unlock completely new opportunities to experience fashion. I'm also thinking a lot about the 3 billion gamers that are plugging into gaming experiences. I love what Burberry have just done with Minecraft and the Ralph Lauren and Fortnite activation. I think this is a really exciting time for the next generation of fashion designers that are using tools like Unreal Engine and Unity and Blender, and being able to create fashion in 3D and opportunities that presents to brands as well. I think this is an incredibly exciting space to be in right now.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we have similar views on, I'm very focused on commerce. And so what does the front end commerce layer look like? And can a virtual world facilitate that much better than it does today? I think we've all been in various front ends that luxury brands have presented, but there's not a lot of engagement in these spaces. And with 3D printing and with Unreal Engine and some of these 3D modeling tools, we can create collections much faster. So coming from fashion, where your critical path is usually about 52 weeks, that's the average brand who's kind of mid-price and luxury, it's even longer. To be able to design in 3D, print, and source within a matter of days, weeks, and then drop very small collections. It helps us, not only move faster in the industry and simplify how we work, but also helps us reduce some of the climate impact that the industry has. So I'm also very interested in the tech for that reason. So what do you think is next? What's your prediction for, fast forward a year from now and we've all built worlds and NFTs are just digital collectibles in the background. What do you think is going to happen in fashion that something that you couldn't envision today, but you think could be possible?
I hope we've come up with a better word than fidgetal.
Yes.
Because that word makes me, it triggers my gag reflex for some reason.
I hate that word.
I hate it. But there is something super exciting about the relationship between physical and digital. And I think that's going to be the most important thing moving forward, whether it's through NFC chips, hopefully not QR codes, because again, we need to evolve as a species beyond QR codes. And it's about this connection that we have between the physical and digital worlds, I think is going to be the primary thing. But also how we start taking these, not just taking it that way, but taking the virtual experiences and putting them into the real life. Because as I was saying in the past panel, how shopping, how fashion is such a physical thing, how the clothing feels on you, where you were when you bought it, the stories behind the items that you buy. And especially when we're looking at the luxury market, how can we integrate this super fun virtual experience in store? And that's the one bit that I'm really excited for is, you can walk into a Dior store and then an element of it is virtual and you can, I think there's something going to be really exciting going on there.
Nice. I have a very different view. I don't really care about expensive, high-end brands. All I care about is feeling cute with myself. So one of the things I'm excited about, which is very personal to me, so one of my most popular collections is called Clever Girls. Have you watched Jurassic Park, everybody? You have, right? Anyway, you know, there's a line where the hunter is like, oh, clever girl, and then the velociraptor eats him. So I love Jurassic Park, I love dinosaurs. So I created this collection. They are all velociraptors, 5,555 lesbian scientist velociraptors. Thanks. So I created that collection. I was super excited about that. And I worked with some 3D artists, and we created wearables for Decentraland. And we created this, like, first of all, like the whole character, like the head is a raptor head, the trousers have a tail, the torso has like some claws, it looks so cool. And then we created a jacket that we have created in real life. I don't have it now because I'm the worst, but I should wear it with me. But we created like a really cool jacket that you could have in real life. You could purchase it as an NFT, you get the physical jacket, and you also get the wearable for Decentraland, and it was really cool. So I love that, the whole thing of like physical and digital. But right now I'm very focused on myself as an individual, because I know, as you know, as NFTs and everything gets more, like expands more into like everybody, I know there's gonna be more people like me that are going to need to feel that they belong to this space. And at the moment, you know, it's quite difficult to find more people like me. So what I'm working on a collection called Lil Clowns, which is like that little clown in my profile picture, so cute. So the whole idea is just to make a very small collection, because you know, when you launch a project and you have 5,000 collectors, you need to be ready for that. And it's very hard. You need a very professional team. You need to understand that you have a brand now, that you have so many customers that are expecting something from you. So that is really cool. But what I want to focus on now is like a small project, 333 Lil Clowns, and it's from queer people for queer people. Obviously, anyone can join. But the idea is that these people purchase an NFT, and then they have the right to go to the website and design a piece of clothing. So my body is a transgender body. As I mentioned before, I don't have breasts, right? But I have hips, because I have a very feminine body. And when I go shopping to buy clothes, I find it very hard because nothing fits me right, because my body, we all have different bodies, right? But transgender bodies are even more different from the norm. So I want to create a place where transgender people, queer people, whoever, can go and design a piece of clothing that they have created for themselves, for their specific body, and they can wear and feel comfortable and have an enjoyable experience with clothing, because for some of us it's very hard to just go to the male and female section. Like, that is so prehistoric, honestly. I don't even understand how that still is a thing, you know? Like, you go to a shop and there's male and female, I'm like, guys. But yeah, I'm excited about, obviously, my specific thing, you know, seeing how everything evolves and how gender becomes a more ambiguous term with the help of Web3, and being able to understand that it's not just your physical self, it's much more than that. Thanks.
Love it. For me, I'm really interested in tools like DALL-E and Midjourney. I'm really interested in the opportunity that text to audio is going to bring to the future of fashion design. I'm interested in clothes that are going to be able to use more sustainable materials. I think sustainability is going to be key for a number of fashion brands, and also for fans that are interested in ways that, you know, we can be more sustainable. I'm also really interested in looking at avatars and looking at ways that, you know, we can expand our avatars and our digital wardrobes. My fashion collection in the metaverse is ever growing, and I'm really keen to have a way to wear it inside different worlds and different spaces. So I think interoperability is going to be something that will drive forwards. But I think, you know, the audio to text and this opportunity for people that wouldn't necessarily be able to design fashion technology is going to allow them to do that. So for me, the future in Web3 and all of these new digital tools and the merging of that inside fashion houses and the next generation of artists and fashion designers that are going to be using those tools is the future. And the next generation is the future. You know, all of the young people are hanging out in Roebuck. They're all buying digital fashion experiences. And we're seeing, you know, a number of brands moving into those worlds and spaces. And I'm really interested in the interoperability and opening up of those worlds and spaces where we're going to be gathering and spending time socially, experiencing fashion, music, and art, and collecting.
And I suppose because I've been in retail a long time, I think about physical spaces and how a physical space is a virtual space. And there was an event a couple months ago at Flannels on Oxford Street. I don't know if anybody else went, but it was one of the few examples of where Web3 is really useful in a physical context, where I was exploring collections. The art was almost like merchandised with the collections. You could, some of the designers had interactive elements placed. And it made, I don't know, the whole experience just much more rich from, I guess, what you would experience in an average store. So I'm spending my time increasingly looking at physical venues and how we use the technology in a physical environment and what that means for how the virtual environment connects. So I think from a future perspective, that's what I see as a big opportunity. So we have 5 minutes and 27 seconds left. What would everybody like to say as their final?
Is there, because I have not been in a panel where people could ask questions.
No Q&A here, apparently.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Sign language, I can try, but probably not.
Well, I can say something. But I'm very excited about the whole like Web3 thing because I play video games a lot. So for me, this whole having a persona that is not you. I mean, this has been since I was a child. You know, I've been playing video games, and then there were all these options, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a sexy boy instead of like a cute girl, right? And exploring like I've been exploring my gender since I was a newborn, right? So I'm just very excited to see these become very mainstream and see all human beings exploring their identity. You know, if you're a super masculine man, you can go and be a female character. And I think because of the whole sexism and misogyny and everything, you know, I think especially for very masculine men, it's very scary to go and explore their gender because, you know, they feel that that's not okay and that is not safe and they couldn't do this. But if you are online and you experiment wearing a skirt and then you experiment playing with a female character, that can help you as an individual and in your real life to get to know yourself much better. And again, experimenting with fashion, you should do that in real life. Go wear a bra, wear some panties. I'm talking to you. Why not? You know, it might be fun. You might be like, ooh, actually. I'm just very excited to see just everybody feel more free to experiment with the way they look and who they can be, not just physically or virtually, but spiritually, right? When you experiment with all these things, you just learn so much about yourself and you learn to love yourself a bit more. Thanks, everyone.
I just want to second that and say, like following with that, pseudonymity, I think is an incredibly powerful thing to allow this self-expression. Like, I wasn't born Winny.Eth. Winny's not even my real name. And I think it's an incredibly powerful thing to then take that persona online and then literally be anyone that you want to be. You can have 3 personas if you want. I don't know, like just...
My real name is Fat Baby.
It's tricky though, right? So this is a good example of where I had my pseudonymous character on LinkedIn and I was asked to take it down.
On LinkedIn, I am a cool cat and Winny.Eth. And I will...
So we
no
have
one can take that away from me.
Yeah, different channels with different identities. And also depends on what you do professionally. And I sit on boards, and so I think people actually want to know who I am. But it's fun to experiment. So I can have my Twitter character and my LinkedIn character.
Yeah.
Sort of
I also think it's a very interesting space because there's a lot of like different brains. Like if you look in this room and we all have such different abilities and, you know, things that we can do. So by the way, everybody, if there's a sugar daddy in the audience, I am open for offers. I am a really good, I'm a really good artist, and I would love to work with other people that are very different from me, you know, that are more analytical, that they have this business idea, and then I create some art. So yeah, I'm looking for jobs, everybody.
I think it's awesome that you have these jokes. Thank you. Anything else anyone wants to say before we wrap?
Well, I'm just gonna shield my stuff. Everybody, please go check my Instagram. I have my whole portfolio and everything in there. Feel free to ask any questions to all of us when we come down the stage. These people are very talented and cute and good people, important in this space. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.